Alright, let's start week 20. I think we've only got a couple more weeks left, and then that'll be it. Alright, start off with an event. I snag a good seat prepared for another class. I sometimes can't believe they still let Professor Task teach here. I guess that's the power of tenure. I wonder what he's going to get into today.
All right, you little money sacks, sit down. Let's get this started.
Everyone quiets down, settling in their seats. The professor turns on a projector and starts displaying slides. Oh, right, this scene. This should be interesting. The slides seem to be displaying a countryside, a few buildings dot it. As he progresses through the slides, we see a bunch of people standing in front of buildings and posing. Professor, are we just looking at your vacation slides?
What's your point? I am trying to get to a point. If certain nosy know-nothings would stop interrupting me.
I sit back in my seat, not believing we're actually looking at a professor's vacation slides.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anne. Is my lecture boring you? Perhaps you'd like to give a better one. Come on, get down here.
I stand up from my desk, walking down to stand in front of the professor. He looks down at me, that stern stare in his eyes. Here it is.
I've had my eye on you for a while now, Anne. I've been watching you and hoping that you would blossom into the full and glorious student I know you could be.
I look quizzically at the professor. I had no idea he had such an interest in me. His smoldering brown eyes are boring a hole into me. Well, I wanted to do my best for you, Professor.
I know you did, Anne. That was part of my joy. Watching you, knowing that you were so eager to please me, and that I was so eager to teach.
Suddenly, the professor takes me into his arms.
You are the one for me, Anne. You are the one who can take my instruction, and I only teach pleasure. When I'm done, you will know pleasure and how to please better than any other person before you.
The professor hugs me close, looking down into my eyes.
Will you complete me, Anne? Will you be the pupil I need to complete this circle?
I can feel warmth creeping up my neck. I bury my head in the professor's coat. I'm so curious to see what happens with this. Yes, Professor Task, teach me how to love.
And so much more, Anne, and so much more. Let us start right now, my love.
Right now? The professor leans me back over his podium. I'm vaguely aware of the rest of the class looking at us, but mostly I'm lost in his eyes. He is my master now, and I cannot wait to find out what new lessons he will have for me. The professor's lips approach mine, inching slowly, tortuously closer until they're almost touching. With a start, I lift my head off my desk. I can't believe I fell asleep. What the hell was that dream? Whew. Man. Anne. Yeah, what the hell was that dream?
And that's why you should always be aware of what kind of cheese you're buying in foreign countries. See, I told you I was getting to a point.
Thanks for that, Task. Ahem. There is no spoon. Matrix reference for the win. Whew. Yeah, so that happened. Time's running short to get my plans in motion. Indeed. It's time to start getting invites out, which of course means figuring out who to invite. I just hope Isabella can help me. I head down the hall, formulating my game plan as I go. I knock on Isabella's door, idly playing with my hair as I listen to her footsteps approaching.
Oh, hey, Anne. Not studying tonight? Come on in.
Oh, I've got some studying to do later tonight, but I needed to ask you about something first.
Sure, anything.
Well, to make a long story short, I'm going to be throwing a party, and I wanted to make sure you were invited.
Oh, wow, thank you, Anne. That's 2 surprises in one night. Are you just inviting the roommates?
Yeah, I'm just asking the housemates. Carmen is getting some other people. It's everything I can do just to host the event.
Well, that hardly seems fair. If it's your gig, shouldn't you be making the calls? Oh, well, I'll just keep my address book to myself.
I really am trying.
I'm just teasing. It's fine. Do you have some entertainment for us?
Yeah, Max is going to be playing. Carmen suggested we also get a ping pong table for beer pong. Maybe a tournament?
Oh, that sounds like fun. Have you started advertising at all?
No, I don't think I will. I mean, I'm not looking to get the whole campus involved.
Fair enough. You want just beer or you want to have a full-on bar? Nothing like a mixed drink to get the party going.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I know we were thinking about a bit of alcohol, but a bartender would be pretty interesting.
It can be a little expensive, but yeah, it can be good stuff. Though it can also lead to things getting a little wild. After all, harder alcohol and all that. If you want it, I know a guy who doesn't card.
I think we'll do it. Give me his number. Hopefully people will like it.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be great. He knows how to entertain while he bartends.
Great. Isabella thinks for a moment and then writes down a note for me.
There you go. Just email him and let him know what's going on.
Thanks, Isabella. I will do that. Studying, sleeping. No, there's no Dr. Teeth, Isabella. Figure it out. You've been here so many times. Asking. I am the Lizard Queen. I am the Lizard Queen. Raising my grades, studying. Whoa. Back in my room at last. Just as I'm putting my keys on my desk, there's a knock on my door. Oh no.
Anne, you have to help me. They have outwitted me.
I stand with my keys in hand staring at Rakesh. Who's outwitted you?
My parents. They're going to be video calling me in 20 minutes.
So?
So? The letter I wrote them. They're not coming, but they still want to check up on me. You have to help me.
I look down at the keys in my hand for a moment before answering. Okay. Alright, Rakesh, what do you want to do? I mean, it's just a phone call. It's not like they can hurt you through the phone, even if it's a video conference.
I don't know. I have to convince them that I'm okay here and there's no need to worry, and, that I'm still on the medical track.
Did you go with my plan? Did you tell them the campus was in a bad condition?
Yes, that's exactly what I told them, and it worked. They no longer wish to come and see me, they understand, but they still want to know how things are going.
Alright, well I guess that's to be expected. Alright, well, what do you want to do?
I am quite glad you asked.
Uh-oh. 15 minutes later, Rakesh is standing in front of his laptop with a webcam attached. Just a second, I need some water. Okay. We're sitting in my room, mostly because it looks the least like a bomb went off in it of all the rooms in the house. Rakesh has strewn various charts and graphs around the room, and I'm lying in bed with a cold compress on my head. Not to mention a rather hastily put together paint job that's supposed to make me look like a sick person, but mostly makes me look like a Martian. You really think this is going to work?
It must, Anne. I think we can pull this off. Together.
Just a few moments later, his video conferencing software bleeps at him, and Rakesh hurriedly tucks me into the bed.
Okay, here we go. Remember, I am the competent medical student, and you are my patient.
I moan in a sickly fashion, and Rakesh gives me a thumbs up. A video screen pops up on his computer, and I can just barely make out the blurry image of Rakesh's parents. I quickly lay my head back down, though, so I look more like I'm resting. Rakesh says something in Urdu that I assume is a greeting. Then his parents say something back.
Are you sure? I do not mind. I have not had much chance to speak my native tongue lately.
His parents say something back, and Rakesh just nods, continuing in English.
Well, this is my office, where I keep my computer. As you can see, I have a patient here right now, so I cannot talk too loudly.
Huh?
Oh yes, it is very normal for one such as I, who is moving so well along the path to earning my doctorate. I must prove my skills, after all.
I try not to roll my eyes. He's really overselling it.
Oh no, my patient is very comfortable, I'm sure. After all, I do my best to attend to their needs whenever they arise. Whenever they arise.
crap, that was my cue. Oh. I cough loudly, moaning in a sickly fashion and trying to roll around.
Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Oh. I feel so very terrible. So terribly, terrible. I don't feel good. I mean, not good at all. Rakesh glares at me for a moment while he pretends to check my charts. I try not to laugh. I feel a little bad about the hammy acting. Sorry. Finally, Rakesh attaches a sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer. What a thingy to my arm, like he's trying to take my blood pressure, while putting the chest piece of a stethoscope against my neck.
Oh.
I try to moan a little bit, but I don't think that's how those are supposed to be used.
Oh my goodness. Your pressure is 190/24, and your fever is 55 degrees Celsius. We must boost your fluid stat. I am so sorry, Father, Mother, but I will have to call you back another time. My patient here may be collapsing.
I gurgle a little and fall back limp. I really hope this helps, though part of me really hopes it doesn't. These kinds of theatrics can't last forever. Huh?
What? What do you mean, what am I doing? I am tending to a patient, as we in medical training do. Of course this is real. What else could it be?
Well, I guess these kind of theatrics don't last very long at all. Rakesh is floundering. I open my eyes and see him sweating bullets looking at the screen. I guess the jig is up. I'll go full out liar on this time. I rack my brains for a way to save this. Finally, I come up with it. I pull my cell phone out and check the time, very obviously in front of the camera. Oh man, Rakesh, thank you so much, but I've got to get going. Thanks for your help too, Mr. and Mrs. Venkatesan. I almost freeze when everyone in the room looks at me like I'm a crazy person. I have to power through this. Wait, Rakesh, you told them they were helping me, right? Rakesh shakes his head slowly, still confused. Wow, I can't believe you trusted my performance that much. Sir, ma'am, sorry for the weirdness. I'm a theater major. Rakesh promised to help me practice a scene where I'm playing a patient. It's so much easier with all his medical training. He said he'd tell you two about this to help make it more real. Your son's been invaluable in my research, what with all his medical knowledge. I can't understand what his father is saying, but it sounds like he's asking if I'm a crazy person.
Yes, it's true. Sorry, I wanted her to believe that her acting had gotten that good.
If the tone of his father's voice is to be believed, my acting hasn't gotten that good. Then his mother asks something and Rakesh suddenly blushes.
No, she is my friend, but not.
Rakesh's mother raises an eyebrow questioningly, but then puts an arm on Rakesh's father's arm.
Yes, I suppose I should call back another time. We can arrange something else, or I can write a more detailed letter. Some other time. I cannot believe that worked. Thank you, Anne. You have saved me. I thought I had lost it.
You're going to have to tell them eventually, you know. I mean, one day you're not going to have a degree, and they're going to have questions.
I know. But for now we have succeeded. Come, I will make you dinner to celebrate.
I sigh, but smile. Together we head down to the kitchen to whip something up. Oh, Rakesh. Well, let's do week 21. Class. Work. Hey, Car. An event.
Okay, give me a call tomorrow. We can talk a bit more, okay?
Sounds great. I think I'm going to see if Max wants to go out tonight.
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad you two got together. You're so cute with each other.
I blush as I wave goodbye to Carmen. I hope with finals so close we can have a bit of fun tonight. Though I might just try to make some time to make sure my homework is finished. Forget homework. I drop my things off in my room and go knock on Max's door.
Hey, cutie, come on in.
How are classes going?
Oh, about how you'd expect, honestly.
Max grins sheepishly as I go and flop down on his bed. I do wish he'd clean up in here sometimes, but then I wonder if I'd miss the mess. It seems like such a part of him.
I actually figured I'd give studying a shot tonight.
Oh, sorry, am I interrupting? I start propping myself up to go.
No, you're fine. I'm about ready for a break.
Have you even started yet? Oh, fine, but we're staying in tonight, and just for a bit, then you need to get some studying done.
Oh, if you just wanted to stay in, that's all you had to say.
I hold out a hand as Max reaches for the bottom of his shirt. People who don't study don't get rewards, Buster. In my room on the desk, there's a board game. Carmen gave it to me with the hopes of me setting up a game night here one night.
That sounds like much less fun, but sure, we'll give it a shot.
While Max goes to grab the game, I clean off a spot on the floor, trying to give us room to play in. About 40 minutes later, Max and I are deep into a resource war and trading like crazy to try to get the upper hand. So how is your band doing, Max? I know you've been out with Memphis a lot lately.
Don't be jealous. He and Sally are together so often, it's like I've got a 5th band member. But yeah, things are going great. We got a lot of good buzz from Christmas, and it's been producing pretty steady work. It's not a meteoric rise to the top, but I never expected that.
I hope you don't let the chase get in the way of your schoolwork. I hope you can pass your classes while you work on it. Yeah, I hope you can pass. I mean, if you flunk and get kicked out of school, you'd have to pay for an apartment and all that stuff.
Don't remind me. But yeah, that's why I'm glad you're with me, Anne. You keep me on the straight and narrow. And housed.
We both chuckle, though Max is looking at me quite fondly. I'm glad I could encourage him to keep up with his studies while he chases his real dreams. At any rate, it's probably about time you got back to your studies.
What? But I'm about to win.
Pfft, you wish.
Wait, are you trying to get me to stop so you can switch our cards?
I have to go now. I, have my own paper to write. Max laughs as I give him a big hug and a slightly lingering kiss. Then I really do go work on my own paperwork. No, what do you mean? I wouldn't do that. I play fair. Oh dear. Another event. Oh, is this the night? Gotta drink some water for the night. Tonight's the big night. Everything I've worked for comes down to tonight.
Okay, I think we've got everything ready for tonight. Max is ready, we've got lots of attendees. Now we just need to handle the bill. I was just about to go down and put our check in for the hall tonight, which means it's time to make sure our money's ready.
Yep, definitely.
Of course, it's not too late to call it a day. Maybe just get your friends together at the house and have a quiet drink together.
We'd be disappointing a lot of people, though.
I know, I'm just hoping you don't feel trapped. I want you to have fun tonight at your own party, after all. No need to feel stressed.
Good grief, I'm like choking on something. Don't mind me, Car. We'll get through this. A few hours later, I'm standing in a rented party hall, watching everything get set up. Max and his band are on the stage getting their sound check done, and everything's sounding great. I'm glad I skipped on the bartender. What? Why did I skip on the bartender? Didn't I ask Isabella for his... What? Apparently I skipped on the bartender. This is already looking a bit complex. Carmen is supervising the ping pong tables being set up and making sure the keg goes to the right spot. Carmen, this is an official building. Is it, okay that we're serving alcohol in here?
Oh, don't worry so much. I know the lady who does the paperwork for this place. We have a deal. As long as they don't see it, it didn't happen. We're in the clear as long as nobody calls the cops. I won't be calling them, will you?
Fair enough, fair enough. I spend the next 20 minutes or so all over the hall making sure everything is set up properly.
Hey, Anne, anything I can help with?
Oh, Sally. I don't think I've got anything right now. Can you make sure the band is going to be ready? We're going to be opening the door soon.
Sure thing, boss.
I chuckle embarrassedly. I'm not even sure when she came in, but she's probably just here to visit her boyfriend before the show. Sure enough, she runs over to Memphis, planting a kiss on him, before giving me a thumbs up. At least I know the band will be ready. Finally, it's time to open the doors.
You ready, Annabelle?
Yes, I'm going to be, Car. Alright, close the curtains. You've got 20 minutes until curtain, Max. He waves and nods as the curtains close. Whew. I finally open the doors. The line is down the block. It takes us a while, but we finally manage the system to get people in. At last, the line at the door starts to die down, and I figure it's about time to start the main event. I gather up my courage and grab the MC's mic.
You can do it, Annabelle.
I smile at her and head up onto stage. Looking out over the sea of expectant faces makes me more than a little nervous. I can't believe they actually all came to a party I'm throwing. Finally, I steel myself. This is what I came to college for. This is why I left my home city and traveled out here, so that I could break out of my shell, so I could stand in front of a crowd like this and not die of shyness and embarrassment. Greetings, everyone. I'm Anne, your host for this evening. I'm so glad you could all come to my party. There's a smattering of polite applause, not much enthusiasm, but I just grin and soldier on. I know a lot of you are freshmen like me, and we're getting toward the end of our very first year of college. This has been an incredible journey, and I'm so glad that I could share it with all of you, even if I don't necessarily know you just yet. Hopefully by the end of the evening that will be different. The point is, we still have a long way to go, and I for one am so happy that I've had all my friends to help me so far. I just know that together we can support each other and do even better in the years to come. The crowd cheers and yells for me. It's probably the most touching thing I've heard all year. Oh, I try my best not to let the emotions overtake me, smiling at the crowd. So, without further ado, allow me to present the first of the evening's entertainment. Another freshman, just like us. Back Alley Flash! I step back, gesturing toward the curtain as it opens. Max steps up to the mic, looking over the crowd.
Let's hear it for our beautiful hostess, Anne, everyone. I've never met a smarter babe, and without her none of this would be possible. Now, let's do this party right. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
Max's band sets in for their first number and the crowd starts getting into it. For the next 45 minutes they play their hearts out, filling the room with great music. As the band plays, the audience gets dancing. I try not to get in the way, cutting my way through the crowd, trying to find people I definitely know. I dance with a few people, but mostly just try to find someone I know. Uh-oh. At one point I spot Carmen and think about going to dance with her, but then I see that she's dancing with Rakesh. And he's got his hands on her butt, and she's got her hands on his. Well, I'm certainly not going to intrude on that business. You have fun, you two. Finally, I spot my roomies dancing in a circle in the crowd. I make my way through and start dancing with them. They all grin and wave. At last the band finishes their set, even the encores. The crowd stops to cheer. It was really a fantastic show. The curtain closes and everyone goes back to talking amongst themselves. Suddenly I feel a presence behind me, and Max appears in the circle with the rest of us. Max comes up behind me in the quiet, hugging me softly. I know I did a good job. It's just nice to hear Max say it too. Well, is everyone having fun? The roomies look around at each other.
Seriously, Anne, this is a great party. We're all so proud of you for putting this whole thing together.
Everyone else nods, grinning at me. My heart swells with pride to know I've done such a good job. Well, the night's not over yet. I'll bet dish duty for the rest of the week I can wipe the floor with any of you suckers at beer pong.
Oh, you are on.
We all laugh as we head off to enjoy the rest of my big night. Ah, so cute. Oh no, not again.
Alright, kids, you've got finals next week, so I'm sure you've all got plenty of studying to do. I could try teaching you something that's going to be on the finals, but really, why should I start teaching now?
The professor throws a slide on the projector that just says, "Study," before walking out of the room. Half the class opens their books and starts studying. The other half starts standing up to pick up their things. Not sure which I should do. Well, if I'm going to study, I'll do it in my own place. I pick up my things and head out the door with a bunch of the other students with the same idea. I make my way over to the cafe. I figure I'll get a bite while I study.
Wow, Anne? I guess the gang's all here.
I look towards Sally's voice and see that all of my roommates really are here. They've all gathered around a table in the corner. Looks like even Isabella took a break from work to sit down.
We all just kept coming in one by one. I suppose our great minds have thought alike.
Max waves at me, smiling and patting an empty seat. Is everyone else's professor as crazy as Professor Task?
No, he's the only asshole with tenure around here. I think the schedule's all just worked out.
Wow, we almost never get to do this. This is so nice.
Yeah, we should get together more often. Most of you are pretty alright.
Isabella punches Max in the arm as we laugh.
It's been a long year, hasn't it? It really has been.
Lots of fun, though.
Yeah, I think this has been the most fun I've ever had this year.
And you managed to learn a lot, too. I've been quite impressed with your results.
Aw, thanks. Honestly, you've all been so nice to me. I really appreciate everything you've all done for me. How about I get everyone a snack today? If you're not already full. Woo! Everyone cheers, and a few moments later I approach the counter to make an order. As I wait for the other clerk to get my order ready, I look back at the table with all my roommates. Friends sitting around it. This has been a good year, and frankly, I can't wait to see what happens next. Whew. The next 2 weeks fairly flew by. Between my finals and everyone else's, I barely got any time to spend with my friends. I put a lot of work into the last final, but it's not really my last one. Sometimes the idea of 3 more years of this seems incredibly daunting. But I know I need my education, so even though there's a lot of hard times ahead, I know the payoff will be worth it in the end. I probably wouldn't even be on campus today if I hadn't needed to sell back some books. As long as I was here, though, I went ahead and printed off my grades for the year. Despite all the craziness this quarter, I've even managed to keep my grades up. It's nice to see all my hard work paying off in my grades. Yay! As I walk back toward Latin House to pack some things for a trip back home, a couple of people wave at me. Oh, I think they must have been at the party I threw those weeks ago. I feel proud I can look them in the eye as I wave and smile back. The two smile, yelling something like, "You rock!" as we pass each other. I'm glad people liked my party. I met so many nice people, and it was a great time with my friends. Finally, standing back on the porch of Latin House, I think over all the things I've done this year. Smiling to myself, I open the door and head inside. Okay, I didn't get a crazy fever this time. So far, so good. I drop my things in my room and check my watch. I've only got a few hours before I need to be down at Gaz's. I promised Max I'd help him set up before the show. Sometimes I'm still amazed that a guy like Max wants to go out with a girl like me. I guess, though, it's fair to say that I've come out of my shell since I first came here. Max has definitely been a help in that. Aww. A few hours later, I walk up to the front door of Gaz's club. I guess I haven't been here in a while because I don't recognize the bouncer at the door. What? Oh my goodness, isn't that Chad's silhouette?
Yo, girlie, sorry, but the band doesn't start for another hour or so. You're gonna have to wait.
I'm actually with,
With who? The fire inspector? Pull the other one. Come on, clear off, girlie.
Hey! Listen, I'm here with the band. I told Max I'd be here to help early, so let me in there. The bouncer blinks at me, taken aback that I just yelled at him.
Let me check my list, okay?
Gosh, Memphis, it's been so long.
Man, that you?
Yeah, tell Max I'll be there in a sec.
You got it, girl.
The bouncer looks back at Memphis as he walks past the door toward the backstage. He looks back at me with an arched eyebrow. The bouncer deferentially steps away from the doorway. I try not to smirk as I walk past him. Me.
Hey, baby. Thanks for helping. We really appreciate it. Go help Slim get her drum set up.
You got it. Time passes quickly as I busy myself setting things up. Finally, Max pulls me aside.
What would you like backstage? I can get Gaz to set you up.
I shake my head, grinning at Max. No thanks, I'll be out in the audience. It's the best way to see the show. I get to ride the emotion with the crowd.
Dang, Anne, well, how can I argue with that? You sure you're gonna be okay out with all those people?
I nod vigorously and wave as I head out to the floor. By now, people have started filtering in, and I sneak out of the backstage to mingle with the crowd. Go! Look at the girl on the right of me. She's just looking at me very concernedly. When the show starts, the crowd is immediately into it. The first several songs have the crowd jumping and dancing. Max may not be the best at studying, but he's definitely got a sense of dedication. Just listening to the crowd will tell you that. Max has worked so incredibly hard to make his band well known around here. I'm just as excited as everyone else here.
Thanks for the love, everyone. We've worked hard to throw this special graduation concert. Nothing makes me happier than seeing all your smiling faces out there cheering for us. Of course, one face in particular has been cheering me on from behind the stage, and on stage, and everywhere, really. And baby, get up here.
What? I can't believe he's calling me. I had no idea he was going to do this. I run toward the stage, somewhat enjoying the looks of surprise and jealousy on the faces of the other people around me. Woo! Yeah! Max's hand reaches out, pulling me onto the stage. He doesn't even waste words, and neither do I. At first, the audience is quiet, but after a breath, the crowd erupts into cheers. It's the most thrilling feeling I've ever had. When Max finally breaks the kiss, he grabs up his guitar, winking at me.
This next one is dedicated to Anne.
I scamper off to the backstage area, watching as Max roars into Back Alley Flash's big song. He can be a jerk sometimes, but when he makes a sweet gesture, he goes all out. Aww. So cute! So yeah, that's the last thing I remember doing my first year of college. It's been years since I thought about my college days. As I look back at the time I spent in Latin House, it was definitely the start of a new chapter for me. I'm so excited to read the things. The world seemed full of new possibilities, and I think I really wanted to seize all of them. I wasn't able to keep a perfect score running, but my grades did pretty well. Honestly, though, I think I was happier that way. I still graduated with a library science degree. More importantly, I wasn't tied to a desk with my nose in a book the whole time. I also got to experience the fun side of college. Whatever did happen to the others? It's hard to remember everybody these days. Let's see. Isabella eventually went back to Mexico. She stayed pretty much exactly long enough to get her master's in teaching. I long ago lost count of the boyfriends and girlfriends she had during the course of college, but to her credit, she never cheated on any of them. She writes every once in a while and promised to put me up if I ever make my way down there. Aw, Dominic. Dominic finally managed to get his physics degree, about the same time I was graduating. Of course, with the job market the way it was at the time, he didn't have any great prospects right off the bat. He spent the next few years continuing to provide RA functions for the university, thanks to his record. Eventually, he got a job with one of those space exploration startups. The other week, I got some spare bolts from one of their test flights. Pretty cool stuff. Oh, but I've left out Max, haven't I? What, I didn't hear about Sally or Rakesh? Darn. Darn! Next time, Rakesh. I'll get you next time. But most importantly, Max stuck with college for about 3 years. He came close to graduating when he scored a record deal. And that was it. No more college for him. He went off with his band to record and tour. Still, every time he had a break, he came back to town. We spent as much time as we could together those days. It was easier when I finally graduated. In those early years, I easily got time off to go be with him on tours, or go see shows. The band always treated me like an unofficial member. Aww. When Slim eventually went off to marry her husband and the band broke up, I was the first one to suggest that he and Memphis try to collaborate and get something new going. He doesn't do as much touring these days, obviously. Says he's too happy staying at home, and I ought to stop cooking so damn well. Have you tasted bar food? Of course you haven't. Nobody has with anything less than 6 beers in them. Which is why I make it a point to kick his ass out the door every few months or so. Otherwise, he'd never forgive me. As for me, well, What can I say? I learned so much that first year at college. Not the least of which was to be myself and not to be so afraid of people. I really let go in that first year. Heck, part of me thought I should rein it in a little, but luckily my friends helped keep me from sliding back into my shell. I worked at the campus library for a few years after graduating, but when budget cutbacks hit a few years later, I had to get a new job. But yeah, everything else about me you probably already know. And at any rate, that's good enough for now. I feel like I've been talking about myself for ages. How about you? How was your college experience? Aw, well that was a cute ending. I was very surprised by Max and Anne's relationship. They actually suited each other pretty nicely. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this with me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So, let's see, next time... Well, now that I'm done this, I'm gonna be going back to Nameless. So, if you are into having your heart broken by hot doll guys, you can come and join me over there and we'll do Yano's route. But until then, I'll see you later, guys.